Images taken from a high building within police lines. They show you the footprint of Ground Zero. The wide view of the disaster, all 16 acres of the World Trade Center as seen from the southeast corner. There, Tower Number 1, offices of Cantor Fitzgerald, Lehman Brothers, the Port Authority, the first tower struck by a plane. There, Tower Number 2, offices of Morgan Stanley, American Express, and others. Scene of the second plane crash, just the outer edge remains. Next to it, a gaping hole reveals levels underground. The Marriott Hotel, 1,300 people evacuated, completely collapsed. Building 4, financial offices, partially collapsed and still smoldering. Building 5, still more financial offices, partially collapsed. 6, federal culture, partially collapsed. You can see offices where people once worked, now sheared in half. Building 7, Internal Revenue Service, Secret Service, the Mayor's Office of Emergency Services, collapsed. A complex where 50,000 people once worked, now barely recognizable, and unyielding to rescuers refusing to give up their search for more survivors. Buildings around the perimeter are also severely damaged. Some might have to come down. An unspeakable disaster, just a glance away from Lady Liberty. Again today, the focus of the rescue effort.
They advise us to leave because we have... Oh my God. Look behind us. Please pan in this way. Please be careful of your baby. This is it.
That's the building coming down.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. No. Listen. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
We're okay. I think we're okay. Ashley, I think we're okay.
All right, we're going to have to move this way. We're going to have to move. We're going to have to move. That cloud is coming this way.
Yeah. Ashley, get out of there. Leave the camera unmanned if you need to, and get out of there. What we've been fearing all afternoon has apparently happened. We were watching number 7 World Trade, which was part of the ancillary damage of the explosion and collapse of the other 2. We've been talking all day about how fast these plumes of smoke move. You're watching one on the move right now. That is building dust. Look at the wider shot on the left from across the river in New York. This was a 40-story building. They've been watching all day. This is like watching the collapse of an active volcano. And the dust from it is not unlike that from a volcano. We are on the phone with New York Fire Department Lieutenant David Restuccio. Lieutenant, where are you right now?
I'm at the corner of Northmore Street and Greenwich Street.
Can you confirm it was number 7 that just went in?
Yes, sir.
And you guys knew this was coming all day?
We had heard reports that the building was unstable and that it eventually would either come down on its own or it would be taken down. I would imagine it came down on its own, and we are just awaiting now at our triage for any other casualties or any other injuries.
Everybody all right where you are, Lieutenant?
Very, very much so right now.
This is, you can't see it from your position, this plume of dust.
Yes, I can.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I can.
Well, we're looking from a camera
right down
position.
Greenwich Street.
All right. We're going to go, hang on, Lieutenant. Ashley Banfield, who's down the street from number 7. Ashley?
Brian, what happened, obviously, you saw live during our shot. 7 went down. Usually that cloud moves at an incredibly rapid pace. We have an eastward wind, so we're able to see what's happening without being overcome by that cloud of smoke. But we saw emergency vehicles. Let me step down so you can see this. Emergency vehicles started rushing towards us. We can hear loudspeakers blasting from the emergency vehicles. We can't make out what they're saying at this point, but we are still seeing some emergency vehicles moving towards that towards that collapsed building at this time. It's a bit confusing. A lot of the New York City police officers who've been holding this line aren't moving. They're not pushing our line any further north. It looks as though we're going to be okay in this location. Although I'll tell you, I was through this before this morning when that second World Trade Center went down only blocks away. We were so overcome. We couldn't breathe and we couldn't see. At this point, it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad from this many blocks away, but
the truck. This is going to be dead.
Hey, cool.
Coming, really?
That was number 7, World Trade Center. Yeah, because the whole building starts to bust, it's all the glass breaks. And that frame started breaking. Can I see it?
He didn't get it. World Trade Center, when they fell as well, this building operated about 110 stories. It was adjacent to the Verizon building, which was just behind. What they're doing now is trying to get out of this area as fast as they possibly can. They've been telling some of the people all the way from Chambers Street down all over this area.
If you're not with us, you got to move down. Cops going to throw us out.
Yeah, I got shots before too.
Sorry.
I don't believe.
We're moving back. Back up! Back up now!
What we're describing right now is the scene.
Everything, including three-dimensional laser imagery.
This is 7 World Trade Center. It's just a pile of rubble right there.
So that when firefighters look at these smoking piles of rubble with the naked eye, they've got a high-tech map to help them navigate. So essentially what this does is it shows you how high the debris pile is
Exactly.
throughout the whole debris field.
That's right.
And why is that so critical?
Because the teams that are out there working now know exactly where they are in the field, how high it is, where they have to go.
It's a huge operation, some 1,400 people, staffing New York's Emergency Operations Center. But Director Richard Shearer is the first to tell you it was not supposed to be this way.
You're seeing pieces of the Trade Center that were impaled into the building.
Shearer survived the attack, but like too many New Yorkers, lost some of his closest friends.
There are a lot of very good people in that building. Police officers, firefighters, guys I worked with for 30 years, friends of mine, friends of my kids. It's tough, it's tough. Good people, good people. That's all I can do.
These days, Shearer has little time to mourn. He had a gleaming, state-of-the-art emergency operations center on the 23rd floor of the World Trade Center's Building 7, built to withstand bomb blasts and hurricane-force winds, but not a 110-story building collapse.
And 7 ended up going down after building number 1 hit it and put it on fire.
So
Took
your
some
emergency
time.
operations center, the place that was supposed to coordinate how you'd respond to a disaster like this, was destroyed.
It was destroyed in the collapse of that building.
But just 2 days later, this makeshift facility was up and running, and it's now the nerve center of this recovery effort. Of course, it's been almost 7 days now since any survivors were pulled out of this wreckage alive. On Tuesday afternoon, we were taken with one of FEMA's urban search and rescue teams down below the World Trade Center complex. These rescuers are literally walking through the terraces underground, crawling through the shafts, boring through the collapsed buildings, trying to find someone alive. They say that to the extent that there's any hope, and clearly it's diminishing, it's there underground. Matt?
All right, NBC's David Bloom in Lower Manhattan this morning. David, thanks very much. We appreciate it. It's 12 past the hour. Here's Katie.
Matt, for the past week, the Federal Emergency Management Agency has had teams in place at the World Trade Center, as we just heard, sifting through debris and searching for survivors. And FEMA will take a lead role in the long-term recovery effort. Joe Albaugh is the director of FEMA. Mr. Albaugh, good morning to you.
Good morning, Katie.
I know you were at the site yesterday. In fact, you have visited it periodically for the last several days.
Correct.
How has the site changed and since you saw